I love spreading the positivity, but it's always difficult to bring that back to yourself. Like, it's very tough. I used to think that I had to work for the clothes until I got to university and I started developing my own style. And then I realized clothes work for you. We've joked around. I've tried Tinder.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Oh my God. First of all, please spell. Please pick up a dictionary. Why are you texting me, DMing me? How you with the you? Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that.
And it feels so good.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Bedtime, the podcast. So excited today. I'm with Priya.
Hey.
So it's going to be a proper girl session in store to you. We're talking about body positivity. We're talking about a lot of firsts. You'll hear it from her. You don't need to hear it from me. But I'm so glad that all you sleep lovers and pillow talkers are joining us this evening. Priya,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm fine. This is very, very dangerous to have a bed because I'm about to pass.
Please don't sleep on me.
I
You know I have issues with
won't.
my voice. So if it's
Yo,
lullaring you,
And you know it is, hey? No, it's fine, Jim.
I'm joking. Thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule because I know you're an actress, actor, vibes.
We
And
tried.
you was
we
like,
tried.
okay, let's go and talk about sex because everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody except me.
Also, nobody wants to talk about it. So that's why you're here.
Yeah, and it's crazy as well. Also from a cultural point of view, I feel like sometimes in the Indian culture as well, it's very difficult to bring that conversation.
Yeah,
to
not
the
very different from
forefront.
ours, girl. I'm telling you.
It's-
I
yeah.
think I'm 39. I've never had a conversation with my mom about sex. Have
Girl,
you?
even to this day, when the scene comes up on TV, if we're like watching, let me tell you, if you're watching something, I
Yeah.
immediately want to make a hot beverage.
Really?
Like, is anybody thirsty? We could have just had one. And I'm like, I need to go to the
But
kitchen.
why? Because I know they're uncomfortable, but why are we suddenly uncomfortable?
I don't know. I have no idea. I
It's
have
a
no idea.
thing.
It is a thing.
And I'm trying to change that, but also it's hard to find the age at which to say age-appropriate things. Because with kids nowadays, you can't leave them hanging. Okay, she told me about the bees and the whatever, birds and bees. Now I want to know more.
Yeah.
And now he suddenly knows more than me.
Yeah.
I've seen the searches from some of the kids and I do want to engage them on it.
I mean-
But also, how do you protect as well? What would you have loved to hear from your parents about sex?
Honestly, anything. But I do give it to them. I do give it to them.
Okay.
My dad is actually a paramedic. Shout out to my dad. Love him.
Oh,
And when I got my period for the first time, it was my dad that
love
sat
it.
down and was like, so this is what it is. This is your fallopian tubes and this
Wow.
is how it works. And I was like, are you the same father that told me yesterday my skirt was too short to go outside the house? Crazy.
So you're going
But,
fallopian tubes?
you know, for real.
Really?
He said he said the F word and I was like,
Okay.
fallopian tube. But it was really good. Like
Yeah.
that's for my parents. It's always been because I'm an only child. So I learned. I mean, you go to school and the other kids, your friends, like, oh my god, did you hear? Like this is how babies are made. And you're sitting there in math class eating your carrot. Like, okay, this is fun.
So you heard about it, like the intricacies of it from friends?
Yeah, school, grade
Yeah.
7, grade 6, 7. It was crazy. And I think now it's like even earlier
Yeah.
on.
Yes,
It's like
much
yeah.
earlier. If you're not talking to a kid, I read at 6 years old, somebody is. So you need to get
6?
6, bruh. What would you have loved to hear from your parents when you were younger about sex? Because
Just that, like that it's not incredibly as like daunting or as like tiptoey and eggshelly as it's made out to be. I think it's important to kind of just not even if you don't want to talk about it like in that kind of sense, that's okay. I have my biology book where I had to name the parts of the reproductive system for 50 marks in a test. I got it. It's okay. It's fine. I had to draw that and all of that. But I think just about making it like, okay, it happens and then we can move on.
Yeah.
Like instead of, because now it's become like,
Yeah.
do you mention it? But now that I'm a bit older, you know, sometimes we just kind of laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like if
yeah.
it comes as again, like we watched movies and stuff together when I
Yeah.
was still living at home, and when things would come up on the TV, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you find something to do with your eyes. Like I
Yeah.
grew up in the era of like the soaps, like Bold and Beautiful.
Oh my
and
God, my
things
mom
like
and Bold
that.
and Beautiful.
And I don't know, for some reason, those things were very graphic. I don't know why they didn't go after 8. Because it was like afternoon.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock. She'd be having her tea and I'd be sitting there watching Brooke and what's his face.
That's how my perspective got shaped. A whole lot of romance.
Yeah.
And the wooing, because, the rich foresters of this world, they would take time and grand gestures and things like that, only to find that in my area code, things don't work that way. But who do you ask and who do you compare it to? Because you can't necessarily say, Mom, what is sex? Am I supposed to be having it? Are you, obviously you're having it, but like, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
It's got an element of disrespect because it's something that you understand.
Yeah, because then you're like prying into like, I think you're like crossing a boundary, but like, how old are you? Do you know to like cross that boundary or like
exactly? And now I find that things like social media have just done things like this because you can just send somebody a TikTok. If you want to talk about it, or a TikTok can prompt you to have a discussion with your kids if you don't want to, things like that. But back to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I was hoping you just. Yeah, no.
Not today.
Not today.
First I wanted to talk about as somebody who is young and you're seeing everything happen on social media. I mean, we are in the age of less is more in terms of clothing, less is more. If you want to attract people want to show how they are. I mean, BBLs,
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about your body, and do you think that contributes a lot to attracting somebody? I mean, talk to me about where you are with that.
It's been very difficult. So I used to get bullied at school and stuff for being fat, obviously growing up. And so that ingrains into you, okay, I am fat. And that culture started changing. We started changing the word fat to thick, to curvy. And that's when I jumped on that. I was like, yes, I love this. I love appreciating my body more. It's taken me a long time to come to where I am with my body. It still takes me. I wake up certain days, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, yikes, what is that? And then there's other days where I'm like, hey, who's that thing? It's what's up, boo-boo? It's so fluctuating, and I think that's just how it is. But when I see things on social media, I think each to their own. I'm also a content creator, so I am on social media quite a bit, and there are times where I'd scroll past a video and I'd be like, I wish I looked like that. Maybe my content would grow if I also was comfortable enough in my body to wear something that accentuates certain features. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for those who do. I think that it's more, I envy that. I envy, if I'm being honest with myself, I envy that kind of, that journey that they've taken or that perspective that they've taken on their brand and just themselves, like other girls. And it's been difficult because obviously, okay, so I'm 22. Let's just get that out of the room there.
Two twos,
but we're turning 23 soon. I don't want to talk about it. In my head, I'm still 21. It's tough. So as a 22-year-old, I've never been in a relationship and I've never had any intimate connections with anyone of the opposite sex because I am a heterosexual woman. So it's been tough for me, especially because all of my friend group has gotten to points where they're in healthy, stable relationships. It's been very difficult. I'm so happy for them. I don't ever want that to be something that is different. Yeah. But I can't help but thinking, is it because I'm still not 100% in my body? Is it because I look the way I do? And I think that confidence is a big part of attraction for me, from what I've seen, from what I've heard. I think confidence, if you exude that, it's a big kind of like a magnet.
That's how I got attracted to you, by the way.
Hi. Stop. I know we're in bed, but the talk. Girl. Yeah, it's, and from a romantic point of view as well, it's quite a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't feel like I have that yet. Or I feel like I'm still working on that.
Are you talking about the confidence?
Yeah, the confidence with regards to just feeling desirable. And it's been a very big conversation in my head and with my friends, especially with the new season of Bridgerton that has come out. I've been involved as a fan in a lot of the stuff and seeing a plus size woman being portrayed as desirable in media, whether it be film, television, social media,
Yeah.
it's become less rare. So it gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
That this
Well,
will
it should give you a
happen.
lot of hope, because I think you, by being here and sharing your story, you are contributing to turning it around, this narrative. Because I think before, a lot was being done to channel us to, this is how a sexy woman is.
Yes, like you have to wear
And
this and you have to look
show
like this
skin and whatever.
make sure you have the gym jeans or the gym pants that like scrunch around your butt when you do squats, or like,
and don't forget about us black girls as well. The tone of your skin.
Oh.
People want to be lighter.
Yeah,
and
same.
But I think championing that discussion, especially from a sexy point of view, is key. And you coming here and saying, you know what, this is my story as well. And I do have moments where I feel the most confident, and I have moments where I don't, because that's actually the truth for everybody. Remember, social media, there's the illusion.
Yeah.
They film their content on maybe the day they feel the most, whatever. Maybe sometimes you're just in your pajamas and you just stuffing yourself with ice cream. I have those days.
I love those days.
I'm not shy to talk about it, because I like to say, when I prepare for here and looks, whatever, because I have to have somebody help me, because half the time when you see me at home, I am in Uggs, I'm in my gown, I look like a wolf, and
I look like a wolf.
I mean, girl, you should see me. But for me, that's how I am comfortable. And I feel like having to switch on yourself all the time is also dangerous. But back to you saying things about social media and feeling that thing.
Yeah.
What do you feel is sexy? I know we spoke about confidence as one, but your element, like when you say that is a sexy woman, what does she look like?
She looks like someone who thinks she's sexy. Like,
Okay.
she looks like someone who believes in
She's sexy.
herself.
So the
And who
confidence
believes-
is actually the thing.
And I think sexy comes in different forms. I'm so for body positivity in
Love it.
so many shapes,
Yeah.
tones, sizes. Stretch marks are like tiger prints. I love mine. I've
Girl.
grown to love mine, but
Yeah.
it took a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because there were moments where it was very difficult, and it still is. And like when I go to the gym, for example, I'm on gym TikTok and I'm on gym things because I like to think that I'm trying. I haven't gone to the gym in like a month. But, I'm still on the things like, oh, yeah, I could do that exercise when I eventually get there. And the fits that people go to gym with, I would kill to look that good in sweatpants. But here I am in like these baggy sweatpants and like a very baggy t-shirt, just like trying to walk the treadmill and sounding
Yeah, but the gym
So out of
itself,
breath.
actually, now that you say that, the gym itself as an environment, because I know they've done away with the models as well, because you also get the physique of somebody who's chiseled, somebody who's that,
like
and
toned
yes, tired, and the discussion is that, and this wants me to think. I mean, I know you like explicitly said that you're not having sex yet, by the way, but.
I love how you're like, you will get there, baby.
No, please. Have you seen you? So a part of intimacy or getting close to someone involves being looked at,
Yeah, being perceived.
because you have seen yourself and you've got angles where you pose for photos, and now there's this stranger who's now so you guys are going to get to the bed part, but there's the part where you have to undress. And I think that's where a lot of people's anxiety is.
Oh, it
because
scares the crap out of me.
maybe I've got things that trim things.
Yeah.
I've got, and doing it in the dark becomes a thing. And I'm always like, okay, like, shouldn't we see the things we're going to play with or to do, because it affects a lot of, it's got a ripple effect. So, but do you have time where you spend looking at your body and admiring it, or not, because that's also valid, naked? Do you have moments like that?
No, I haven't. I was like, so I think the only reason why I've like started like looking at myself in the mirror naked, and this is going to sound so weird, but it's genuinely because I had surgery last year. So I got my appendix removed, and then I have like scars, like 3 scars on my stomach. So I like to just see like if they're dulling down.
Is it as painful as they say it is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, but it's just fine. I had really good support system.
Okay,
like my
that's
friends
good.
were really there for me. And it was like completely unexpected. So there are moments where I would like, before I shower, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is fine. And then I'd
Yeah.
duck.
So to stand there and look like for a period of time?
I've tried it once and I cried. Like completely broke down.
So was it I don't like what I'm seeing type of cry, and I would like to see better.
And that was really hard because I'm always like the hype girl of like my friend group. I'm always like, no, you're gorgeous, because I have the most stunning friends ever. I meet the most gorgeous people. Hi. How you are? Yeah, you're one of them.
Stop it.
Never. So I meet like really gorgeous people, and I love spreading the positivity, but it's always difficult to bring that back to yourself. Like it's very tough. But you know, recently I'm really trying, I think, more intentionally, and I think that's the change, is that you try with intent, you know, to intentionally be positive towards yourself, to intentionally look at yourself and admire yourself. And my friend said something to me, one of my cast members that I had worked with, we were speaking about like eating disorders and stuff, because I feel like I've tried, I have never succeeded with one, but I dabbled because it was a thing of like an easy quick fix. And at that time, I didn't know that it was bad for me. So they were talking about like with food, right? If you look at something you're eating and you're like, if I were to give this to my friend, would I be okay with that? And that's when I was like, crap, if I had to think this about my friend, about when I look at myself, would I be okay with that? And that becomes applicable to like body positivity and self-affirmation and just like being kind to yourself, because it's really tough when you are on social media and you see what you see, and there's these gorgeous like dresses that you want to buy, and the first thing that comes to mind is like, it won't look good on me. Or like, you know, it's tough, which is why I never used to shop for myself most of the time.
Really?
I hated shopping. I hated going into the fitting room and trying something on. It used to physically make me sick, because I used to look at myself and be like, jean buttons won't close. I used to think that I had to work for the clothes until I got to university and I started developing my own style, and then I realized clothes work for you. Clothes are tailored to you. But when I was growing up, there wasn't a massive plus size range. I mean, only recently did we started seeing mannequins in stores that are
But
bigger.
even that plus size one, so it's on its way to a plus size. You know, I've heard the girlies also talk. I mean, I follow a lot of people who are positive, you know, about their bodies, about sex, about a lot of things. And I hear that the plus size models of themselves are not plus size or representative. But I mean, people are turning inward. So if I don't see somebody that represents me, I'm gonna be that change. That you know, I'm gonna wear the dress. Now we're talking about you buying the dress.
Yeah, you know.
You know, we should probably have a whole thing about that. But you know, I look at you, and for me, thinking about being 20, and it never even fazed me how one would feel about their body, because I don't know where it came from. Maybe because it's, you know, at the time, or maybe I felt like I was closer, because I grew up very tomboy. So the dresses came late. Like I think I was your age or whatever when somebody told me I remember there was a boy in uni when I was at TWR.
Not a boy.
I know, bruh. And I was wearing like, there's this brand, I mean, I won't mention them, but they used to make like chunky boots and big t-shirts and have their name here and the shorts. And that's how I would show up to school every day. And I remember I used to take the train. And there was this one boy who would follow me, like, and tell me, I have nice legs, you're beautiful. Do you know how I wanted to punch him? Yeah, I've deliberately tried to hide the curves, and you are seeing
so
them
uncomfortable
through everything I put on. You are seeing what I'm trying to hide. I wanted to punch him,
and that's also like such a thing, because it's.
I know.
Yeah.
So the issues have always been there. So it took me a while to put on a dress. Appreciate that there's legs. Take it a bit higher. It was phases. I remember in chunks. And even now, I still get my days where I feel like, okay, today's a good day. And I still get, you know, I'll be capped here. You know, my husband sometimes tells me like, okay, today I do feel like I want to go out with my wife. Then I'll have to find her. Okay, that's the one, the pretty, you know? I know, he's being facetious, but like...
No, but that's so fair. Yes, like, we do have different personas of ourselves. And I feel like that's okay.
And I love him for it, because I think over the years, he's been comfortable to express that. But I'm thinking for if like you are in your 20s
Yeah.
and you are battling with yourself
Yeah.
for those standards, you almost need everybody else out of your business with yourself.
Yeah.
This is my business with me.
Yeah.
Can people not enter the space?
And it's so difficult to have that in the industry that I'm in. This has been my dream. I have wanted to be a performer and actor since I was 6 years old. And in my head, I always thought that I had to look a certain way to be able to book jobs. That was a fear. I never saw myself in the media as an Indian woman. It was very rare, let alone a darker skinned Indian woman and a chunkier Indian woman. I never saw that. So I'm just hoping that I can be that for somebody. So I'm like working hard, trying to do that, trying to get myself where I'm at. But as a performer, as a person where you step into other people's lives, it's so difficult because you're like, sometimes you want to live in that person's life because they don't have the mental things about their body that you would. And it's always been tough. I had to do a monologue, I remember in uni, in my second year, about a quiche. And how quiche isn't sexy, how quiche isn't something that... And it was a very sexual monologue. And it was just me on stage with a quiche. And I was wearing a skirt and stockings. And I really pushed myself to kind of go out of my comfort zone and do this. And it was one of the most reciprocated things I've ever done on stage. And that kind of showed me that, like, yes, eventually I will get to a point, or maybe not, where I'm comfortable with what I look like. But for now, I'm someone else's comfort.
There's so much power in that.
As someone who's like freshly stepped into this industry this year and has been so blessed with the amount of opportunities that I've had to go out there and do what I love, much like this one here, it's something where I was like, yes, I can get jobs. It's not about what I look like. It's about my talents. And unfortunately, some people don't see it like that. The people that give you the jobs. Or,
yes, because that's also the other thing, not to be typecast. Because you do get token black people, token Indian people on
But the token Indian people is always the doctor. She's always the accountant. She's always Vashni in the corner with the books.
Never a luxuriously haired beautiful actress like you. But they are coming. Man. I love that because that made you hyper aware of, I guess, the landscape and the industry that you are going into.
You have to.
Does that make you feel like you will say no to some jobs because you feel like it boxes you? Does it have that effect?
I think so. I think it would.
So you'll be able to turn down a role because maybe they want you to pay, I don't know, something funny like a Dani or something. I don't know, something.
I know that I'm a very comedic character.
Yes.
So if I could have a spin on that, I mean, like if we watched certain movies that represent like Indian filmmaking and Indians in film, like it's funny, right? But I just want more, especially looking the way that I am and feeling the way that I do. I would want more for people who look like me. Yeah, but it's been tough. The whole relationship, body positivity, sex talk, like...
Yeah.
It's tough, man. When you're out, your friends are hitting milestones that you aren't even close to.
Like what? Like 2 years in a relationship? That kind of milestone?
Not even that. First kiss, bruh. Like someone on a group chat the other day was like, guys, I had my first kiss. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. And there I was holding my own hand in my bed watching a K-drama because that's what I do with my life. And that's okay.
I also feel like 22, it's still, it's still coming. I mean, I can tell you this as a big sister because, I mean, I'm very close to 40 years. I could say, but I'm also not comfortable aging. So there's those issues. But if I think about where the 20s, because there's that pressure, the age to get married, your first kid, also biology, right? Biology. Do you know that biologically, between 19 and 22, you're supposed to have your first child? That's your prime fertile. Who has their stuff together?
Your prime fertile.
I'm like, Mother Nature. I don't like her. She's a mean girl.
That's crazy.
I know.
19 to 22.
Yes, that's your most fertile years.
Shame. She's over though.
Exactly.
She's so
So
fun.
those are some of the things I think about when I think of the things that are still coming for you, because obviously, I mean, we haven't spoken at depth about if you obviously want to get married and all of those things, but that's also chunks out of maybe your time, chunks out of other things that you want to do. And I think if I reflect, the early 20s were like 100% my time. And it doesn't get, like, when you get older, it sometimes like shrinks.
Yes, yeah.
Because, depending on the life that you end up, even if it's not kids and a husband, but there's career, there's your parents when you're getting older, other demands for time come. And if you're using the time, like, to get to find yourself out, like now, and obviously put yourself out there, and it's just a matter of time. I live for the moment where you're going to tell me how does it feel. You will never guess.
Yeah. Remember that thing we did? Remember what I talked about? Yeah. Scratch. We need an update.
Exactly. But let's talk about, do you have a type? Because now we talk about you being somebody else's type. Do you have a type? You never know. Maybe they're what?
Honestly,
Type, yeah.
I don't want to say I have a type look-wise. I want to say, because no offense to the men, but like, if you're a man hearing this or watching this and you're going to take offense to these, you must just be strong. Because that's not, like, it's not all men. But when I refer to men, most men that I've interacted with suck. Oh my goodness. Like, there's no, like, romance. There's no, I want that. I deserve that. I want to be rude. I also want to, because I know that I am a romantic. I'm a hopeless romantic. Oh my goodness. I've watched all the movies. I've read all the books. And I just sit there and I'm like, I also want that.
The Notebook, Titanic, which one? Okay, Titanic, no, not so much romance. But yeah.
Titanic. She could have moved, hey? We could get into that whole story. She didn't, but she could have moved.
She could have.
If she really loved it, I would have moved for my man. I know I'm chunky, but I could have made space on that word. Please, come on. So when I say that, I want a man who will respect me. I want a man who's going to look at my career and go, yes. Not go, do you have a backup plan? Are you sure?
Yes.
Don't doubt my capabilities and I won't doubt yours. I want the bare, like, we call it the bare minimum. There's this thing that, like, amongst us, like, we all talk about, like, my friends get so shocked when a man opens the door.
Yeah, like, why?
Or when a man actually looks at you and goes, hi, you're really pretty, instead of having ulterior motives try to get you in bed that night at the club. I'm literally just out with my girls. I don't need you right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a space and a time and a place. And I feel like that's asking for so much, but asking for the bare minimum at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting.
I want to say how valid that is, because also you being the first thing that you were going into your first relationship, you want to set the tone.
Yes.
I'm very strict when it comes to that, because I need to teach you how to operate me. The manual for me is me.
You know?
So you can't come with your preconceived things and say, girls like this. But other girls like
You see, like, moving your hair out of the face. Bare minimum. Bare minimum.
But things like that are very, very key, because you can't come preconceived and you can't come with assumptions.
No.
And you are now at that beautiful and just very honest and just the space of creating the standard for yourself.
Yes.
Because what happens to us women as well over time, there's parts of us that relationships take away. And you want to enter the space already knowing that here
is the line.
Yeah, that's the line.
That's the line.
And it sounds to me like you at least have done that work to say you are not gonna just go for anybody, because you have the issues you have with yourself, but they are not for exploitation.
And I think that's what makes it incredibly difficult for me.
Yeah.
Is that I mean, my friends have, like, we've joked around. I've tried Tinder.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Oh my God. First of all, please spell. Please pick up a dictionary. Why are you texting me, DMing me? How are you with the you? Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that. Ooh, I hated that. Okay. And then immediately.
So must know how to spell.
Please. For the love of God. You know, like, I've tried that. I've put myself out there, and I want to say that I am an extrovert, and I talk and I interact with people, like,
so you are
amazing people that I meet
socially and being in spaces.
Yeah,
that's
I love that. And
girl, gorgeous.
Oh my God, stop.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're already out there in the spaces, and, you know, it's really, when they say it's the beholder or whatever, for me, the longer it takes, perhaps the quality, because if I'm thinking about a 22-year-old male, my son is 22.
Is
And
he?
yes,
luck.
yeah,
We are
I know
tough.
exactly.
We are
Because
tough.
he's also like, you know, his standards are pretty high.
Mm.
And I feel like that's something also, when you get closer to your 30s, that picture starts to be clearer.
Yeah.
Because what you want when you're 22 is definitely not going to be what you want when you're 25. And us being women, my husband likes to tell me that we are overly stimulated. Because I want something for a long time. Oh, if I could get this, he'll work hard to get it. The next day, I want something else. So then it took him for, you understand?
I get
so
you, I
us
get
women
you.
are like that as well. So we're a constant, you know, work in progress. And I guess also on the part of the men we date, we almost want them to arrive ready. And there's the part where you just have to chisel. I think it's the end, not the pencil's there. You just have to, you understand, to make it suit your style of writing. And I hope that you are open to at least that much to
100%.
say, he's not going to come well-versed in...
But the thing is that neither am I. And that's the beautiful thing. And it's so weird because my friends that are in relationships, like I know some people have come to me and like been like, hey, do you have any advice? On me, as if I've done anything. Okay, sure. Like I can hype you up and I can talk and I can say XYZ, but I can never get on that level. And I'm just lucky that I have the friend group that I have, the way that me not experiencing XYZ has never led like a gap or a drift. Like I can ask questions and they can be open and we can talk and we're still very close, even if I haven't experienced what they have. But I think finding that other person, like I completely acknowledge that nobody's going to be perfect, but then we both need to acknowledge that and like work through that together. Because I think that's what a relationship is. It's about finding the imperfections together, acknowledging them and loving them. And if you want to better them, better them.
Yes.
You know,
and
like
I love that in a partnership. But again, at 22, it's also a lot to think about that you want somebody. Yeah, the demands are a lot. So maybe sometimes you just want somebody to hang out with when you go ice rinking or like whatever you...
Not even that. Like, I don't know. Hold my hand. You know what I mean?
But I have to say, I have to take this moment to give a shout out to your friendship group. It's 3 times that you've spoken about 3 different incidences and they've been the constant.
They really are.
They really are.
Like, even my friends.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them. My friends, and I say my friends as well because I'm not saying all my family, but there were instances where I used to kind of get body shamed by family members. And so it's kind of difficult for me to say family because I don't want any of my family, if you're listening, please don't get offended. So I love you so much. You make good food. Which is probably why I look like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every time I walk into my nanny's house, she's like, eat. And I'm like, thank you. I am hungry. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like they always were supportive of me. But I've been very blessed to just find a really great group of friends that make me feel like I can post on Instagram and that I can, and I've been more active on social media. And I only got Instagram. So many of my friends are so shocked. I only got Instagram in like second year of varsity.
Oh, wow.
I never had it throughout high school.
Because of the standards you were thinking it's not for you, it's for others.
Because people used to like go on people's Instagram in high school and be like, oh my God, she's so ugly. Oh my God, she's so this. And I was like, I'm not going to be
so that maybe you're not going to put yourself
I was like,
in
I'm
that.
not going to do that. Tell me that to my face, babes. Then we can talk about it. Don't go on social media and be like, what is she wearing? None of your business. I'm wearing nothing. Leave my Spider-Man t-shirt alone. You know, so like when I posted on social media and I got comfortable in who I am, it's because I had people to kind of just be the blankets when I was cold and to just be the support structure when I fell apart. And shout out to them. They're fantastic.
Shout out to you because I do hear you that there is some advocacy in what you are doing. I mean, you're not doing overtly advocate, but you are saying that fine, I've got me, and as I am is how I want to exist. I shouldn't have to aspire to being prayer. Understand? So for me, I mean, that's one of the biggest takeaways from this relationship because at whatever age, there'll always be something you're not happy with. You know. But for you opening up your insights and sharing with us that sometimes you look at yourself and, you know, and I feel like I do want to give you a challenge to spend some more time because that's how when Mr. Boyfriend eventually exists, you can tell him, touch here, not here.
Ah,
You understand?
I get you.
Because you would have
to like explore what I like. Essentially,
Yes,
I
because
do agree.
you would have gotten better acquainted with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think because of obviously he'll be of similar age, let me not say that. Scratch that out.
I mean,
because we don't
maybe.
know. We don't know.
We don't
It's
know.
up to you.
We'll see.
But my hope and my sense is that then you get to lead him in how to be the best for you, like especially when it comes to
Intimacy.
that
Yeah.
moment where we thinking about taking off the clothes.
Yeah. In my brain, it's like it's such a big thing. Because as I said, it's so difficult for me to see myself as desirable. Yes, I see myself as pretty. And I see myself as like, ooh, she has great style. Oh, she's like fun to be around. But I feel like desirable is something that I've come to see more, especially living by myself now. Like sometimes you're sitting here alone with your thoughts. It's scary. But yeah, it's gonna take some time. And yes, there are still parts of me where I'd like to better. I go to gym, I dance because I want to keep healthy. And I think that for me is important to acknowledge that I'm not doing this because I want to look a certain way, but because I'd like to walk up 3 flights of stairs and not sound like a beached whale. Do you know what I mean? Like I wanna walk up and not go every time. Yo, the staircase.
They always catch you, those things.
Every time. And they put them at the gym for you to go at the top floor.
Why?
And
I'm
like,
already here.
my kneecaps, guys. My kneecaps. You know?
Yeah.
So that is where I think working out and fitness comes into my life. Is because as an actor, your body, you need to keep it agile. You need to keep it fit. Like performance fitness for performance.
Yes,
But
I get that.
it took me a while to realize that it doesn't mean that because I need to keep it fit for that I need to now lose 800 whatever
Yeah.
because
Yeah. The
to
standards
look a certain
always
way.
being set by you. You know?
Yeah.
So as long as we are all on the same page about that.
Yeah.
But I love that for you and the self-discovery that's to come. And I think I'm in the best seat in the house to witness the the transition and everything that's coming your way, because I do see that it's going to be a tough job for him.
Shame.
In keeping up, number one, and number two, in making sure that you always stay this beaming. Because somebody out there would be watching and be like, oh, she's so gorgeous, she's so confident and all of that.
you.
And, and what's wrong with the men? But perhaps that could also be the aura. It's just blinding, and somebody's questioning themselves, would I be enough? Because Priya looks like she's set. Her mind is working right. Her words sound right. Everything seems like it's in place, and it could intimidate somebody who's also thinking about approaching you. So there's also all of those things to grapple with.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah, but I think for me, definitely a catch. And I listen to you saying desirable, and I think maybe sexy. When I think about, because there are lots of people that, when I think about, I feel like you exude so much confidence, and for me that's highly, highly attractive. And it's also a numbers game, because you're such a magnet for people, you're so warm and everything. One of those people secretly wants to date you, maybe hasn't told you. You never know. And this is the episode. She's single.
Hey. Also, if you do, please, if you come into my DMs, spell.
That's it.
I'm asking for
it
you.
Doesn't get any more.
Just, hey, how are you?
That,
Not what you're doing or you up.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
That needs to stop.
Yeah. Totally hate that, and I get you. It's been such a pleasure learning from you.
Oh, I loved this.
It's
Can
been
we
such a
sleep
pleasure.
now? It's this bed is so good. My goodness gracious. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I feel like we could go on and on and on.
Of course we can.
Yeah.
Every time.
Are you going to give us the Priya updates when...
the Priya update, of
when
course.
things turn around?
Exclusive, Nukhal.
Exclusive.
I'm going to be here. It's going to be, I'm going to soft launch. Yeah. I'm going to soft launch. Yeah. We can even put in the polls on
and then couple goals under the episode. But that's definitely such a vibe.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I know you didn't get spoken to about sex and intimacy when you were young, but thinking about it now, You know, what's important to you in that box of intimacy? Touching, holding, I know touching hands is a big one. So now that I know. But like, yeah, physical touch for you is a big one. But what other things in that umbrella?
Or like love languages and stuff. I really like quality time. Like I wanna get to know you.
Yeah.
Like not the basis of like what's your favorite color. Okay,
It
purple,
changes with
duh.
the
But like
lunar phases.
you know, with the moon phases, most I
Changes,
wake up one
yeah.
day and I'm like red, you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's always been purple. Just okay. But like I want to get to know the person. I want to spend time with you. I want to make memories. Like for me, doing things, watching a movie, having a picnic, doing nothing except talking. Like that's also something for me. I think quality time.
Yeah. And we're being sold lies there by Instagram, by the way. You know, the 100 roses or the 1,000 roses with the 100 rands.
How expensive it is. It's
like,
fine.
but
okay.
whose student budgets
On
are
whose
those?
student budget?
Exactly, because you
It's
get
fine.
22-year-olds posting the Louis Vuittons and all of those things. And
Which
people
is
feel
so
like,
slay for them. I love that for them because even me, I look and I'm like, I could use a Gucci flip-flop. But then I'm also like, I also need to pay rent. So guess I can't yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, security in a relationship, just feeling like I can just be, I can just exist with someone instead of like against or in competition with, but just existing, like being like this.
Yeah.
That's why I admire friendship so much because that's how
That's your intimate
I would
space
feel.
right
Yes,
now.
exactly. Like that's how I would
Yes.
feel or how I would want a relationship to be. Just now throw in like that cute little romance factor and we got something going, you go.
Yeah.
So
Organic and very healthy and all of those things. I get that a lot. Yeah. Where can we support your work, Priya? This is your chance to just just all your socials because I know content is an important part of your life as well. So whoever's watching would like to carry on and follow the story of Priya as she navigates her first dating experience.
I will vlog that just because I know so many people are like, oh my god, you are going on a date? Yeah. I'm not,
So
but like
we
this
all
is me
must know.
speaking it into the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
So on Instagram is where I post a lot of like more of my acting content and just like what I'm doing. So it's at PY Bandu on Instagram. And then for TikTok is me being clown. Love that for myself. And a fangirl. Like fangirl culture on TikTok is a big thing for me.
Yeah,
so
nice.
it's at Priya_BTS.
Okay.
That's me on TikTok. Come on,
it.
join the group chat, which is what I call my TikTok, TikTok account.
Because
the
that's
group
what
chat,
you
because
all
I
are
just
doing
that's what we
behind
are.
the scenes.
Like I love just like creating that environment online where people can just.
Okay, I'm looking
be
forward
there.
to being behind the scenes of your love life soon.
Mm,
Are you gonna let me in the
Soon.
group chat?
but of course, you're already part of the group chat. This is an upgrade for the group chat. Goodness gracious, look at this lighting. Let's talk about that.
Oh, what an epic chat! Yeah,
What a time.
thank you. I truly
Aw.
appreciate you, Queen, and
I appreciate you.
upwards
Thank
and
you.
onwards on all your adventures, including that stage where you belong and where you are excellent in, by the way. Speaking sex into a quiche. Are you kidding?
Girl, I had to like look at this thing and be like, "You're worth it. It's sexy." And I was like, I don't even
Actually,
eat
who
quiche.
orders those quiches that you find in the restaurant sitting there?
I don't even know.
No judgment, but
No
yeah.
judgment.
Yeah,
None.
okay.
Love it for breakfast occasionally.
That's all we have time for on tonight's episode of Bedtime, the podcast with Priyanka Bandu. Thank you.
Anytime.
And it feels